Good day, good people. My name is Kabusekwele and I'm an online math tutor here to help young children turn their struggles into their successes. Today we're going to be talking about fractions. I'm going to be explaining fractions in a way that is easy to understand, so whoever's watching this video has a good idea of what fractions are. If you're an adult with a child that is struggling with fractions, this video is perfect for you because it can help you understand certain things about fractions that you can explain to your child. Or if you are a young person that's struggling with fractions, this video is perfect for you as well. Let's start off by discussing what a fraction is. A fraction is a piece of a number that was broken up into equal pieces. So essentially, a fraction is a part of a whole number. Now, a fraction has something called a numerator and a denominator. The denominator tells you the total number of pieces that number was broken into. So let's say, for example, you took the number 4 and you broke it up into 4 equal pieces, whereas the numerator tells us the pieces that we're considering. Let's say, for example, you had 1 sweet out of 4. Your denominator would be 4, whereas your numerator would be 1. So the numerator focuses mainly on the pieces or the parts of the whole, whereas the denominator tells us the total number of parts the whole was broken into. Something about fractions that is very important for you to understand is that each of the pieces that the number was broken into are equal. So for example, let's say you have a pizza. This one whole pizza has been broken up into 4 equal slices. That then means that each slice of pizza is 1 out of 4. Therefore, 1 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4 will give you a total of 4 out of 4 slices of pizza, thus making one whole pizza. Here's some things about fractions that is important for you to know. The foundation of fractions is division. Fractions and division go hand in hand. Therefore, to understand fractions, you need to thoroughly understand division and how it works. I have a whole video on that, so please be sure to check it out. I will link it up here. Something else that's very important to understand is that the numerator and the denominator are not two separate values that are on top of one another. See, the numerator and the denominator make a value. They're not two separate values. A fraction will always represent one value. That is why we can say, for example, 4 out of 2 is equal to 2. See, 4 out of 2 is the same as 2. It just looks different, but actually it's equal to 2. So that numerator and the denominator make one value. The fraction 1 out of 4 also makes one value, and the value is 0.25. Yes, that number is smaller than 1 whole, but it is still a value. Just because 1 out of 4 looks different to 0.25 does not mean they're not the same thing. They're equal to one another, they just look different. Finally, division breaks a number up into equal pieces. Those pieces are called fractions. Let's talk about the type of fractions that exist. The first type is called proper fractions. Proper fractions are fractions that have the numerator smaller than the denominator. For example, the fraction 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 is equal to a number that is smaller than 1. And think about it logically. Let's say, for example, you had one whole pizza, and this pizza was divided into 3 equal pieces. If the fraction of pizza that you ate was 2 out of 3, that means you ate 2 slices out of the 3 slices. That obviously is not equal to one whole pizza, which is why it's important to remember that proper fractions will never be equal to one whole. The proper fraction will always have a numerator smaller than the denominator. So if the fraction of pizza that we ate was 2 out of 3, we then ate 0.67 of one whole pizza. That's what the decimal version of this fraction is. That's what the value of that fraction is. The second type of fraction we're going to be discussing is called improper fractions. This is the opposite of proper fractions. This is when the numerator is equal to or bigger than the denominator. So if I said to you, I ate 5 out of 3 slices of pizza, what that actually means is that I ate more than one whole pizza. How do we know that? Remember we said the denominator tells us how many parts one whole was broken into. That then means this pizza was actually divided into 3 equal slices, but we ate 5 out of 3 equal slices, which means I ate more than one whole. In fact, I ate one whole and I ate 2 extra slices. 2 extra slices that were equal to the slices of the first pizza. So that means we're actually dealing with 2 pizzas. Both of them have been divided into 3 equal parts because the denominator tells us the number of parts a whole has been broken into. Therefore, both of the pizzas were divided into 3 slices. We ate all 3 slices of the first pizza. That then leaves us with 2 slices. 2 slices of the second pizza that was also out of 3. Again, 5 out of 3 is not 2 separate values. This is one value. So the value of 5 out of 3 in decimal form is 1.67. So we ate 1.67 out of 2 whole pizzas. The last fraction we're going to be discussing today is called mixed fractions. A mixed fraction is basically a whole number plus a remainder that is in fraction form. These are basically improper fractions. So for example, we would have a mixed fraction of 1 and 2 out of 3. Back to our pizza examples, this means we had one whole pizza plus another pizza that was divided into 3 slices. However, we only ate 2 out of the 3 slices. When you think about it, this is very similar to the improper fractions that we spoke about previously. It's kind of like mixed fractions are improper fractions made simpler. A mixed fraction simply tells you that you have one whole pizza, whereas an improper fraction, you kind of have to figure out how many whole pizzas you had. Back to our pizzas. If we ate one whole plus 2 out of 3 pizzas, that's exactly the same as us having eaten 5 out of 3 slices of pizza. The only difference is one is a mixed fraction and the other is an improper fraction, but they have the same value. Both of them are equal to 1.67 in decimal form. Therefore, you ate 1 out of 6, 7 out of 2 whole pizzas, which is why it's so easy for us to change improper fractions into mixed fractions and mixed fractions into improper fractions, because they're essentially the same thing. They're just in different form. And that's the end of our discussion when it comes to fractions. But I have a few questions for you that I ask that you please go do research on. Why do you think division and fractions go hand in hand? Remember how we said that a numerator and a denominator are actually the same number, equal to something? Well, do you think that a proper fraction can ever be equal to 2 or even 5, just any number that is bigger than 1? And lastly, I want you to explain in your own words how mixed fractions and improper fractions are related. That is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are in search of an online math tutor for your child, please be sure to go down to my website and schedule a free consultation with me. I will see you in the next video.